Welcome to replacing a flat tire on the move. Originally, the title of my presentation was how to replace a flat tire while the car is on fire. But in our industry, when we are saying fire, most of the people think that we are talking about production incident, and this is not the case. By the way, the picture that you see with the car, it's real, okay? This guy knows how to change the tire while the car is still driving. So let's move on. I'm Avi. I've been working at Wix for the past decade, okay, since the dinosaurs' time. I'm proud father of two. I recently moved to the south of Israel from Tel Aviv, and trust me, it was one of the hardest projects I ever made in my life, much more harder than any other project I did for Wix. Today I'm head of infrastructure global operation team, and I'm going to share with you my own experience of how I manage things for the company. So let's take a look on our goal. We need to have a successful migration with multiple teams. Imagine yourself the following picture. On one side of the floor, there is a team that realizes something needs to be changed. They see the data, and they can plan the growth, and they understand something needs to be made. However, on the other side of the floor, there is a team that's happy with what they have. And I'm sure that you all heard the sentence, if it's working, don't touch it. Don't change anything, okay? It's working. I don't have time to try and migrate and run some scripts that will implement what you did over my team or will affect my work. So how are we actually going to do that? So today I'm going to share with you my tips of how I'm doing it at Wix. Hopefully, the next project that you will have, you will be able to run it a bit more smoother and easier. So let's talk about the agenda that I'm going to share with you today. One, we will talk about the challenges, then how we are actually doing the planning for that, and the rollout phase, and lastly, how we actually celebrate the success. So the challenges, I'm pretty sure that most of the people here can think about so many challenges right now when they are trying to even approach such a project, okay? Let's review some of them, some that I think are most crucial when you start such a project. So first one, the entire company actually moving forward. The teams have their own roadmap, they have their own goals, and they have very limited resources to try and actually help you to achieve what you actually need to do that will reflect them. Some of those teams are moving really fast. The entire company relies on them, okay? Asking them to step in and help you to do your migration, it's just going and asking them, guys, what you're not going to do this quarter, okay? And it's a race. We all want to win, and we don't want to lose. And it's not just one car. It's not just one team, okay? You have multiple teams, sometimes multiple geographic locations, different time zones, and you need to do it in scale. And lastly, I don't control their time, okay? I'm not their direct manager. I cannot tell them exactly what to do. And also, I can share with you that in most of the projects that I was involved, I knew the starting point. However, the end date was something that we usually always missed. And because there is no correlation between the date that I'm going to be ready, I cannot tell other teams, guys, I need you to be ready here to stop what you are doing and implement my change. So what we can do about it? Let's see how we actually start planning that. So first thing, of course, starts with a plan. Funny, but we all need a plan. And a plan is not just the development part. You need to take into consideration a few other things. For example, you may need some migration tools, monitoring tools, dashboards that you will need to have during the project. Even help and support it should be a part of your planning. And let's not forget the things that actually can go wrong. Okay? As an operation manager, I love it when the engineers come and tell me, okay, we are ready, we have the plan. I'm telling them, okay, give me the plan, I want to see it. I want to try and get my hands dirty to understand how it's going to be. And only after that, I'm telling them, okay, let's continue forward. And it also helps me to understand what are the weak points that something can go wrong and break. Once we have that ready, we need to continue and find a team or a few teams that will be willing to do the onboarding part. They will be willing to work with you closely and understand how things are going to work, what are you going to change, and how it will affect their life. So, for example, if you're trying to build or to improve your build time, take a team that will be relevant for that. See if you're actually trying to, or you meet your goals, okay? And get their feedback. Once you have that ready, advertise your plan. And guys, I want to emphasize something. Sending an email to the entire company does not mean that you advertise your plan. Sit with R&D managers. Explain them what are you going to do, okay? Take your teams, do a presentation, and share with them what you're going to do. Once you do that, you actually improve the transparency, and you build trust with other teams in the organization. Okay? Once you have that, you are ready to move forward. And before you are starting the rollout, you need to make sure that you aim for minimal effort. And what does it mean? I remember when I joined the infrastructure team, my manager told me, Avi, we are lost. We are doing a rollout to Kubernetes, and we need to migrate 1,500 different artifacts to Kubernetes. And I asked him, okay, how many moved so far? And he told me, 10. And I said, okay, no problem. I went and I asked the developers, okay, tell me what I need to do in order to move my artifact to Kubernetes. And it was a long process. I simply got back to our engineers and told them, guys, it's too long. People are just giving up during the process. They don't have the time to go and read the entire document. Let's try to think how we can make it easier. So they did when they worked on it and came back with a better solution. And when I shared that information again with the entire company, after 2 weeks, I already had 600 artifacts that moved. Okay? It was a very simple process. Let's not forget it, for preparing for the rollout, you need to have a set of tools that I will talk a little bit later about them, and make sure to plan your time. And what does it mean by plan your time? Starting the rollout does not mean that you actually completed your project. You are going to have a lot of questions from other people. So support is part of that time, okay? And if you got people attention, it means that they look on the documents that you wrote, they are trying to do what you actually asked them to do. Be serious as much they are, okay? Stop what you're doing and give people answers, okay? Don't let them wait. So once we have all of that ready, we are actually ready for the rollout phase. So let's try to understand how we are actually doing that. So first part, every rollout that I'm starting, I'm sharing with the people what's in it for me, okay? What you're going to gain out of it, what the company is going to get out of it, okay? And this makes them really happy to understand that they are part of this big project. Guys knocking on someone's door and telling him just to do something because you have the right to ask him to do something, it's not cool, okay? Make sure that he will understand what the effect is going to be. Then, once the rollout began, okay, you need to take into consideration that you need to have automatic monitoring and dashboards that will give you the implementation progress. I'm starting my morning and ending the day knowing exactly the status of the rollout of each project, okay? Because of that, I know who I can approach and say, hey guys, good work. Hey, I see that you did not start yet. What's going on, okay? Or I see different teams that are in the middle of the way. I will share with you a little secret. And guys from Wix, please don't share it abroad. Usually at this part, I have some scripts that I'm automatically contacting the owner of different artifacts and asking them, like it's a real person, me asking them, hey guys, what is the status? Or why you did not start yet, okay? They think it's me, but it's actually a bot that I wrote. And most important is, of course, track your success, okay? You set a set of KPIs before you started the rollout, so make sure that your goals are met. Make sure that you are in the right place. Make sure that you are going forward. Once you have that, okay, share that with your team. Share that with the company. Share that with the R&D managers. Show them what they actually got out of this rollout. Deadlines, guys, are important. You want to have a rollout, set a deadline, okay? It will help other teams to be ready and plan their time accordingly, okay? And also, take into consideration, if you're going to stop support something, let people know about it, okay? Don't surprise them. Sometimes I see it, even today at Wix, that people are rolling out changes and forget to tell us what will happen if we will not implement that on our side. Lastly, I want to talk about celebrating your success. Many times I see groups that are working on big projects. It takes so much time, and then when it all ends, what happens? You just jump for the next one, okay? You don't stop to celebrate what you did. I can share with you that it's something super important. It will give a boost for your team for the next project. So stop for a second. Go out, celebrate, okay? Your team deserves it, and everyone else deserves it. Also, during the progress of the project, okay, you know, completing a big project is actually winning small milestones. Usually at that point, what I'm doing with my team, I'm building like a team spirit around that. Posters, T-shirts, okay, everything goes, okay? People are so happy about that. I remember that when I was in charge of migrating Wix build system to Bazel, I remember that it was very painful for so many teams at Wix. And it sounds stupid, but I made a poster, I'm Bazel ready. And every team that completed the part of migration started to ask me, we want a poster. They started to put it everywhere. And like, it started to move forward, okay? And more teams started to ask me, we want more posters, and eventually I had to print something like 500 posters, okay? So let's sum up what we learned today. So when you are running such a project, collaborating with other teams is super important, okay? Make sure to share the information, be transparent, it will just help you, okay? Keep things simple. Don't expect someone to go and dive into a long documentation. Make it easier to other people to understand that. Monitoring and dashboard tools are a crucial part. Without that, you will not be able to do it on scale, okay? Working with 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, okay, I can do it manually. But imagine yourself today that I need to approach 2,000 different artifact owners at Wix. Okay? I cannot do it one by one anymore. And endly, don't forget to celebrate your success. Trust me, it gives the team super boost for the next project. Thank you very much.